Hi guys, today we're going to be doing a paper on translating. So let me get this paper pulled up and we will get started. That's not right. And I will hide my face in just a minute as well. That way it is not in the way of the paper. So we're going to be using two different sheets today in order to make this. I'm going to flip my screen around like we did yesterday, and I should have closed out my face so you're not staring at the ceiling. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. So translating. What that means is how we do a problem. Okay, how does that look? How does that happen? Okay, so what are some of the words that we're using? So for addition, we use the word sum, S-U-M. We use the word increased. Oh, this can be really hard to write. Let me zoom out a little bit and it'll get a little smaller. Increased by. Okay, we use more than. Oops, I didn't mean to erase that. More than. We use total. And we use plus. Okay, so those are just some of the words that we use in addition. Okay, subtraction, we're going to use words like difference. Sorry, that is an F. We're going to use less than. We're going to use subtract. Sorry, subtracted from. We're going to use minus. And then we're going to use decreased by. So you're going to see these words not only when we're talking, you're going to hear them, but you're going to see them in word problems, and we're going to be getting to word problems eventually. Okay, so multiplication. Let's look at multiplication. Times. Okay, product. Twice. Double. Or even triple. That's a P and an E. Of. Okay, so 13 of 12 would be 13 multiplied by 12. Okay, all right, so in division, you're going to see, and these are the signs, so that would be your division sign. You're going to see divided by, and you see how that's pretty close to this decreased by. So remember, addition and multiplication are similar, and subtraction and division are similar. Okay, you're going to see the word quotient. You're going to see the word half or third. So very similar to that double or triple, and division will be half of it or a third of it or a fourth of it. And separate. Separate. Okay. So some of these words are going to be a little different. So I'm going to put a star next to this one and this one is subtracted, where it's less than and subtracted from, because these are turnaround words, which means that they can be they can be said in the opposite direction. So you're going to turn around what's happening. Okay, so less than is a turnaround word. Okay, so and we're going to go over some examples of these here in just a minute. And subtracted from is a turnaround word. So that means that the question is going to be moved in a different direction. So you're going to take, like, if it is 4 subtracted from from a number, it would be x minus 4. It wouldn't be 4 minus x. Okay, you're going to turn that around. Okay, so does that make sense? So it wouldn't be 4 minus x. You wouldn't do it that way. You would do it x minus 4. So that's what they mean by a turnaround word. Okay, and then words that you would put into a parenthesis is times the sum of. Okay, so the sum of would be in parentheses. Okay, so times the difference of or difference between. Oops, I can't even read that. It's just blurs. Between would be put in parentheses. So let me think of an example here. So 5 times the sum of a number. So it would be 5 times the sum of the number is 6. Oh, the sum of a number and 6 is 48. So it would be 5 times the number and 6 would be 48. So that's how we would write that. Okay. So you would write it in parentheses. So we're going to go over these first 4 problems, and then we're actually going to go over the next sheet as well, because we need to talk about some inequalities. Okay, so let's look at these first 4 examples, and then the rest of the examples on the second sheet we're going to do as a class. But let's just look at some of them. The product of a number and 3. What did we say product was? Product is a multiplication. Okay, so I hate it when it does that. The product of a number and 3. So it would be 3. I apologize. It would be 3x. Okay, so the product of a number. So we're multiplying a number, which I guess you could use in if you wanted to, in for the number. But we can use x or in. So it's saying number, so we'll use in. The difference of a number and 10. So that's when we would have the number minus 10. Okay. All right. And then the quotient of a number and negative 5. So here's our number, and the quotient means we're dividing by negative 5. All right. So when we have and 5, we are looking at whatever, when we have these and words, we're looking at whatever it is that we're doing, the product, so multiplication. So we're multiplying 3. So the number, we're you tap the screen and it goes crazy. I apologize. N the number and negative 5, so it would be divided by. Okay, so subtract 4 subtracted from a number. So remember, we use subtracted from. We're going to turn that around. Okay, so it wouldn't be, remember we said it is not 4 minus the number. That's not correct, okay? We're using subtracted from, so we're going to turn that around. So n minus 4. So those are those words that we turn around, remember? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up our next sheet. I'm going to give you guys a second while I'm pulling mine up. Oops. I guess I need to go back, get a new sheet. Go ahead and pull up the second page of your digital notes here today, because they are the digital and the guided notes, and it's going to look like this. So 5 through 16, we're actually going to go through together in class, but let's talk about these inequalities that are on the bottom of the sheet. Okay. So what is an inequality? An inequality is where you do not have an equal sign in your problem. An inequality is where you have a less than, a greater than, a less than equal to, or a greater than equal to. Okay, so less than always faces this direction. Okay, and I know when you guys were in elementary school, you would say the alligator eats the bigger number. So just remember that this is always less than, and this is always less than or equal to, which means it can be that number. Greater than always goes this direction, and it's always greater than no matter which side of the equation that it goes on. And then greater than or equal to. All right, so I'm going to teach you a little trick as we're looking down the line at equalities. So if it's greater than, you're on your number line, it's going to go this direction. If it's less than on your number line, it's going to go this direction. Okay, so I'll remind you that again when we get into inequalities and we get into actual graphing of those, but just to kind of give you an example. Okay, so let's go over 1 and 2 together, and then we will do the rest in class. Okay, so a number is less than negative 10. A number is less than negative 10. So we have the number, and less than is this sign here, and then negative 10. Okay. Actually, let's do, don't close that out. Let's do, sorry, my son interrupted me. Actually, let's do number 6 instead of number 2. A number is at least 16. A number is at least 16. So how are we going to do that? We have a number and at least 16, which means it's 16 or it's greater than 16. So greater than or equal to 16. Okay, so it's just the terminology that they have in there. It's not always going to say less than or equal to. That's just some different wording that we are going to see. Okay. All right. Go ahead and close out this video, and I will see you shortly for our guided practice.